All right, Sophia and Chloe, we're on lesson 70, page 358, and I'm just going to walk through the introduction with you and then also the practice. It starts out pretty simple and it does get a little bit more complicated, so let's begin. Starting on page 358 under new concept. So before two or more fractions are multiplied, we might be able to reduce the fraction term even if reducing involves different fractions. We know about reducing the fraction, but now we're going to do a little bit of playing with it in multiplication. For example, in the multiplication below, we see that the number 3 appears as the numerator and the denominator in different fractions within the problem. So you've got 3/5 times 2/3. Okay, you can multiply and it comes out to be 6/15, but then you have to reduce it to 2/5. So what we can do is reduce the common terms, the 2 3's, before multiplying. So we reduce 3/3 to 1 1 by dividing both 3's by 3. So you have those 2 3's in common, cross those out, they both become 1. So you end up with 1/5 times 2 over 1. And when you multiply, then you don't have to reduce. Okay? Let's show example 1. So we have 5/6 times 1/5. So before you do that, because you know you're going to end up having to reduce it if you do it, you see that you've got the 2 5's in common. Those become 1's, multiply. Okay? 1 times 1, 1. 6 times 1, 6. And you get your answer without having to reduce. Pretty handy, huh? All right. Let's go to example 2, and it gets a little more complicated. You have a mixed number. 1 and 1/9 times 1 and 1/5. Now you know you can't do that. You have to make it into an improper fraction. So 9 times 1 plus 1 is 10 over 9 times 5 times 1 is 5 plus 1 is 6 over 5. Now you guys, this is really where it gets fun. Okay, but you got to pay attention. Your 10 and your 5 are related. Your 9 and your 6 are related. You can reduce both of those. So keeping track, you have to be really careful when these problems get complicated to keep track of what you're doing. So 10 and 5, well, we know 10 goes into 5 2 times. So this becomes 10 divided by 5 is 2. 5 divided by 5 is 1. These two can be reduced by 3. So 9 goes into 3 times, 6 goes into 3 twice. Now you multiply, you end up with 4 over 3, right? And we're not done yet though, because we have to turn it into a proper fraction. So you can maybe do this in your head. Let me just show you what I'm doing. Divide 4 by 3 goes into it once. Your answer is 1 1/3. Okay? Sometimes it feels like a long step, but it's going to be a long step anyway. So, sorry, I'm trying to find my eraser. I don't know where I put my napkins. Okay, there. It's a long process anyway. It just saves you a step at the end. Okay? All right. So we're going to move on now to example 3, and this is a division one now. So it's 5/6 divided by 5 over 2. Okay. So you know you have to find your reciprocal, right? So let's go ahead and just take our 5/6 reciprocal. And boom, see what you got going here. I've got 2 5s, right? One is a denominator, one is a numerator, so it works. Cancel those out. And we know 6 goes into 2 evenly. 6 divided by 2 is 3, and 2 divided by 2 is 1. So now we multiply. 1 times 1, 3 times 1. Now, if I went too fast for you, I'm sorry. You can always rewind this and go back, okay? What we're going to do now is we're going to do the lesson, the practice set. I'm going to write it on the board, and I want you to reduce and practice first. So get your papers out, have those ready to go. Pause this until you're ready to go. Okay. Let's go ahead and start. So, looking at number 1, you've got a numerator and a denominator that are the same. They cancel each other out. These two have nothing in common. So now we just solve. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 5 is 5. And that's your answer. Now, I want you to try the same on B. Did you cancel out the 2 3s? And now you multiply. Oh, no, we don't multiply yet. Your 2 and your 4 are related. They can both be divided by 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Now we multiply. 1 times 1 over 2. Okay. While I'm erasing this, I want you to go and I want you to do C. Okay, so C is 8/9 times 9/10. Okay, so what you should have done is canceled out your 2 9s, and 8 and 9 are both even, so they can be reduced. You can divide the top and bottom by 2. So 8 divided by 2 is 4, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Those cannot be reduced any further. All right, so then we multiply. 4 times 1, 1 times 5. Your answer is 4/5. And that is correct. Moving on to D. 2 1/4 times 4. So I'm going to walk through this one with you. We have to make these into improper. So 2 times 4, 8, plus 1 is 9, over 4 times 4 over 1. I did the multiplication sign there. You can do the dot if you want. They kind of flip back and forth. So notice, we can cancel out the 2 4s. 9 and 1 really have nothing. You can't do anything with that. So then we multiply. 9 times 1 and 1 times 1. Of course, we know that 9 over 1 is 9. Okay. Okay. I threw that in just to confuse you. It shouldn't confuse you. All right. I want you to make both of these into improper fractions. Did you come up with the same answer I did, making these into improper fractions? Okay, now these can cancel each other out. And your 8 and 2 are related. They can both be divided by 2. Okay, so now you multiply. 1 times 4 and 1 times 1. My vicious dog thinks there's someone at the door. Okay, I want you to go ahead and do F while I'm erasing. And listen to my dog bark. Okay, let's see if you did it the same way I did and got the same answer. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 1 is 10 over 3. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 equals 9 over 4. Now, both sides can be worked with. It doesn't matter which one you do first. So these two go into 2. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. 4 divided by 2 is 2. These go into 3, goes into 1, 9 goes into 3 times. We multiply. 5 times 3 is 15, and 1 times 2 is 2. So how many times does 2 go into 15? 7. Is that what you got? If you did it correct. Okay, good. Let's keep going. So the next part is division. So we're just adding one more step into it. Copy down your problem. It is 2/5 divided by 2/3. So we gotta flip this one. Find the reciprocal. 3 over 2. Now we're going to do some canceling. These two are not related, so you can't do anything there. So 1 times 3 is 3, and 5 times 1 is 5. A ninth divided by 2/3. All right, find the reciprocal. Both of them can be dealt with. So 8 and 2, 2 goes into 2 once, 8 goes into 2 4, 9 and 3, 3 goes into 3 once, 9 goes into 3 times. You guys be really careful in this work. It's easy to get sloppy and then you're going to have a mess on your hands. 4 times 1 is 4, and 3 times 1 is 3. You end up with 1 and 1/3. Okay. While I'm erasing, copy down I. If the thing turns off, it's because we're running out of time. So I'm going to take off because here we go. It's going to run out. So it is 9/10. Got a big one. Divided by 1 1/5.